20-year-old Echo Smith drummer Graham Siriota wants to let the public know he had no malicious intent when he was contacting Travis Barker's 13-year-old daughter on social media. So that's really cool. And his family is saying that he has autism and was misunderstood how that interaction could be perceived.
So what he did was he messaged Travis's daughter, and he invited her to a party that his family was throwing. And apparently, he had invited a lot of different people to the party that he maybe shouldn't have invited. But it's not as big of a problem when you're texting Justin Bieber to come to the party because he might have cocaine. Travis's daughter definitely wouldn't have cocaine.
Justin Bieber's an absolute legend for that.
She would just do the cocaine. So they were really mad about him just throwing away drugs like that.
Cash, grass, or ass. Come on now, Graham. We have rules here.
Yeah, no. But what came out of it was actually he apologized, and
I would hope.
Yeah, and it turned out to be there weren't like mood messages from what I read. At least none that came out at the time that I was reading about it.
Yeah. It was more just him. From what I'm understanding from it, being essentially a reply guy.
Yeah, a reply guy to a 13-year-old. You know, we've all been there, right, fellas?
The cops don't understand. I'm autistic. Come on.
Yeah. Which, again, I mean, I want to, give him the fucking benefit of the doubt. Fucking sure. But also, like, maybe, like, just say to him in the future, Graham, fucking cut it out, buddy. Like,
listen. For some reason, the public 5 years from now, when you're 25 and she's 18, would be way more in favor of y'all hanging out with each other. But
or if you were perhaps a 30-something rapper from Toronto, and you were perhaps messaging the star of instead some Blink-182's daughter, whatever. It was the star of perhaps some Netflix original show. Everyone would just forget about that in like a month for no reason. Also, for the record, fuck Drake, just in general. Totally unrelated to what I'm saying here.
No, don't fuck Drake. Not fucking Drake is praxis.
Dances well enough to make you forgive it.
Yep.
Graham's just getting antsy since he doesn't have his Epstein plug anymore. Guy's been locked up for too long. Like, they're gonna start crawling out of the walls because they can't keep it in their pants. They lost their inside guy.
Yeah, the fucking Hollywood perv battalion is gonna just go wild.
I really can't wait for there to be more obvious murder attempts on Jeff Epstein that we all keep on calling suicide, Jeff Epstein threw himself out of the third-story window of the courthouse and decided after that to crawl in front of a moving car. For some reason.
Jeff Epstein was poisoned, shot, set on fire, stabbed, thrown into a freezing river, and yet he still seems to be informing the American royal family. So,
anyways, what I'm saying is that Travis Barker's daughter is like the resin in the bottom of the pipe.
Okay.
That he's scraping out the pipe to smoke the resin.
Oh, and 30-something-year-old stoners have an unhealthy obsession with it?
Yes.
Yeah, Blink-182. Also, for the record, Blink-182 fucking sucks. I know that's really like the like third or fourth thing down on this on the list of priorities maybe brought up by this story. I just want to say that all the music everyone else likes is bad, and all the music I like is very good.
Mountain Goats.
Just the only band. Yep.
Smash Mouth is the only leftist band.
Yeah. Comrade.
Apparently.
Fucking yeah. They
Comrade Smash Mouth.
Fired some shots at fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson when he was saying his dumb shit. Was that yesterday? The other day? Who knows?
Was that yesterday?
It's been out for 2 days. 4 mass shootings ago.
Jeez, yeah.
Dolphin attack.
You got canceled a day on Twitter.
Yes, I did. Zuckerberg has banned me from Facebook. I am barred from Instagram and touching any form of social media. And now a milquetoast Marxist-Leninist has decided that I am a spineless coward because of my viewpoints regarding how the DSA convention happened over the weekend.
Well, I think
literally the most important thing that's happening over the weekend. I think we can all agree that in terms of national news, the DSA convention has the most pressing stuff for us to really be rallying around and talking about. Right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
The DSA national anthem remix with Tupac.
Yeah, I'd give it a listen. Fuck it.
No, that's a clear little Nas X collaboration, not Tupac.
Obviously.
Come on, Zach. Gotta up to it.
Chainsmokers and Lil Nas X.
There you go. That's a fucking crossover right there.
There you go.
I could see that. Oh my god, that would be a very DSA collaboration. Of like, what's one former flash in the pan thing and a new current flash in the pan thing? Okay.
I think you mean, what do white people listen to?
Oh damn. That's not a very intersectional of view, Zach. And
well, neither is the DSA.
Someone described the DSA as being the managerial class, and I was like,
I've heard that.
Well,
yeah, that tracks. Yeah,
that's the Warren presidency label is just the professional managerial class.
Yeah.
Which,
listen, I don't have anything against people with like white collar jobs or management types, but as soon as you own a single Game of Thrones Funko Pop, you're dead to me. So it works. Yeah, check around your room.
No, I'm still good.
All right, good. As you can see, this is my whole apartment.
It's right behind
it's
you.
It's just a big white void.
Jon Snow creeping up on me.
Cold, soulless-eyed Funko Pop Jon Snow sneaking up behind you, its mouth sewn shut, slowly approaching you.
Jesus God!
But
I think on the page I've posted stuff about the DSA, and people are like, "What do you mean the DSA?" And it's like, look, not everybody can be a revolutionary. Not everybody is politically aware. Not everybody wants to do much outside of showing up to meetings and having a network of people that they can talk to about politics, because maybe they're still friends with people that aren't as radicalized out of neoliberalism as they could be, and maybe canvassing neighborhoods is fun. I've canvassed a lot of fucking neighborhoods in my life. Okay.
It's good exercise.
Okay,
good
but
cardio.
that was just because you were trying to figure out where your ex-girlfriend lived. I mean, that's not the same type of canvassing neighborhood, Zach.
I recently moved to the neighborhood. I'm legally obligated to tell you I am a gamer. Here's a pamphlet. Also, quick aside before we get our momentum going again. I'm still looking at the fucking Echo Smith fucking article. What the fuck is Echo Smith? What is this band?
Have you not heard Echo Smith?
I've not heard Echo Smith. This sounds like store brand Imagine Dragons or something.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
All
the cool kids, we like to bullshit.
Oh, that's who that is. Okay.
Fuck him.
Gotcha. That's how it goes.
Something like that. They're all siblings too, so it's like hipster Jonas Brothers if they were simultaneously prettier and more socially awkward. Anyways, I think that in terms of being a place for people that aren't radicalized, in terms of being a place for people that aren't necessarily don't have fully built out worldviews that have worked, philosophical thought into it, leftist philosophical thought into it. The DSA is a great place for people that want something that is not neoliberal because they're fed up, but they aren't really sure which direction they're going to go. What I'm saying is the DSA is where they go first and then they turn into eco-fascists.
Oh, gotcha.
I blame the DSA.
That is a real interesting trajectory, because as I was imagining it, is like a bunch of like, maybe like 50s, 60s older like farmers market folks who like are just a little more woke than your average farmers market folks. And then just boom, that's the whole fucking DSA right there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the people that show up to the farmers market and kind of look away when someone uses gamer words.
That's what I always used to do when I'd work there. Just selling pastries and dropping slurs. Yeah.
You guys are just really describing key components of the Green Party base here, and I won't stand for it. Yeah, the DSA really does seem to fit in this very weird subset of where if you are any more radical than what the DSA likes, you go join the PSL. And if you are any less radical than what the DSA likes, you probably join like a progressive caucus of the Dems or something like the Justice Democrats. And then you kind of get stuck in this very narrow niche zone of sorts.
Which is fine. And like specifically some of the Twitter stuff that is currently going off, I think it's cool that there is a space for people where that is what their social networks are like. I wouldn't fit in there because I don't have social networks that are that language based or that are that
you don't hang out with fucking dorks, is what you're trying to get at.
Well, I mean, I hang out with nerds, not dorks.
Yeah, exactly.
I hang out with gamers.
I think that's
Yeah.
what you're getting at, is that these people seem like very like, oh, hello, how are you? I'm great, Jack. How are you? Oh, well, Don, I'm having a great day.
Yeah.
I just bought a new sweater vest. Like fucking like
They punch in at 7:55. They punch out at 5:01.
yeah.
And then they go to their weekly meeting. This is
You guys, I honestly think that's a little ignorant because there is a whole nother facet to it. I mean, these are not necessarily a whole group of well-intentioning Mr. Rogers types, like there are tons of folk boys among the whole mix. Like that's a very necessary subset,
Hey, look, they accept all sexualities at the DSA con, okay?
as long as you trying to fuck. That is the main thing.
Well,
Horny
earlier
posting.
we were comparing it to other conventions, any sort of fucking nerd con, anime con, whatever. Not that those are mutually exclusive categories. I'm not sure why I put them in mutually exclusive categories. However, people fuck at those things. And people fuck way more than anyone at those things should be fucking. So, I posit, there's definitely people fucking at the DSA convention. 100%.
So you're telling me that in the times that I've gone to the Comic Cons and the anime cons, even among those
Like
pool of
Comic
people,
Cons.
yeah, and Comic Cons, God, that I wasn't actually able to fuck at those. So that means I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, even among those groups, huh?
It's
Damn.
much like the old Dungeons and Dragons that they're all so fond of, as am I. It's a roll of the dice. Really, sometimes you end up just heading back to your hotel room and snoozing. Sometimes you end up doing blow off of the dick of somebody dressed as Toriel from Undertale at 4 a.m.
Gotcha.
in another city.
Me showing up with the clipboard. How many Deadpools can I bring back to my room tonight?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to do with the Spider-Mans because there's after that last Spider-Man game, everybody's way more into all the different costumes. So if I'm gonna get my aesthetic, my fantasy scenario going right, it's got to all be the same costume.
Yeah, not just into the Spider-Verse. The Spider-Verse is into you.
No,
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Damn.
That.
yeah.
But yeah, do we want
I
to get
think-
down to the meat and potatoes of the DSA con? Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
No, I was about to launch back into it actually.
Nice.
I was gonna say the reason why I don't go to the DSA con is and why those people aren't in my friend group is because I think that as hearing about kind of monitoring people in the quote-unquote dirtbag left, which is nebulous and unhelpful as a identifier so far. The goal is to take people like me, who were libertarians, who were Tea Party, who grew up right wing, who self-radicalized really, because I have access to Wikipedia and a billion hours on my hands, and not having such a nerd fest where I'm worried about which particular group I want to least offend, because I'm still, I know that there are offensive things that we can and do say still probably in our daily lives, and I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to justify saying offensive things all the time. To the contrary, I think it's great to minimize.
But if I had to. Yes, what we need is another white guy playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. It's great if we can minimize those things, but not cordoning ourselves off, not isolating ourselves away from people who can be radicalized. I've been talking to our buddy Raul about this because I really want to maybe run an episode with him.
Raul from the Authentic Discourse podcast. Everyone should go ahead and check them out.
Obligatory air horns too for that lovely podcast, because that's like their thing.
They're great. They're funny. They're a little bit more into specifically Dallas culture than we are specifically into Houston culture, but that's cool. That's their niche. I'd love to bring Raul on.
Hometown heroes, baby. Yeah,
and talk about how do we making sure that not only are we improving ourselves, but we're also maximizing the outreach that we have to people who we're cool. We should be cool. Why do people go listen to that nerd Ben Shapiro when they should be listening to us? Like, why do people go listen to Jordan Peterson when they should be listening to Dumb and Awful? It's hard to justify saying that people should be listening to us when what they see is nerds on Twitter, asking a room of people to please shut the fuck up.
It is very isolating because, when you have someone who is a fan of Ben Shapiro or of Jordan Peterson or of those types, you can't really just be like, hey, go check out Dumb Bitch Media and start, thirst commenting underneath their Instagram pictures. It doesn't quite have that one-to-one. So you do.
That's how I was radicalized.
God, I have a lot of respect for the DSA and their goals, but I don't understand quite the niche in which they are trying to fill, because they keep on trying to kind of have it both ways. They're saying, look at who we are. We endorse a candidate. We're all into politics. We are socialists, blah, 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 blah. But then they absolutely refuse to make themselves an official political party. And so then people can't run as Democratic Socialists. Instead, they're expected to run as Democrats in it for pragmatic purposes. If Ocasio-Cortez decided to run as a Democratic Socialist in the general election against Joe Crowley, then, she wouldn't have had really a shot in hell. So I understand their pragmatic reasoning and the way they're trying to go about it. But in the actual discourse that they're doing, like at the national conventions, there's such a focus on the individualism of each person and trying to make sure that every person feels respected and valued and loved and all of those good things, which, again, on their own are fantastic. But when you're trying to move through a docket, when you're trying to go through Robert's Rules of Order and you're trying to figure out, what all is actually happening, you can't afford to get 19 resolutions behind by the end of the second day. Otherwise, you're just going to leave a whole bunch leave a whole bunch on the bone.
But they do use, revolutionary language. They call each other comrade. They do want to be inclusive. They want to make sure that everyone is heard, and they want to which
so
is,
much so that they don't let you actually clap.
Yeah, which
Fucking it's clapping. It's Jeb Bush shit. Who cares, you know?
yeah,
But
whatever.
yeah.
It's. I mean, it's a gathering of people like people
Juggalos.
Clap.
I'll have that take right now. The DSA convention, not nearly as much praxis as gathering of the Juggalos. How about that?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Hey, gathering
totally.
of Juggalos, they
Fucking
beat up
eclipses
police,
it by far.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a $5,000 a plate DSA event, but it's just a concert with the Juggalos playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other
Brawl.
5,000 people that are brought in are all like the rowdiest fucking juggalos we could find. Yeah. What a fucking crossover right there. Hell yeah.
We found this deal on Groupon. Woohoo! I guess I should have said whoop whoop, but regardless, I'm sorry,
whatever.
I wasn't fully in character.
That's stealing juggalo valor. Actually, you can't say that without the face band on.
Yeah.
Yep.
So needless to say, Zach, you are beyond the DSA. I am canceled by the DSA. So, Bo, you are our lone operative, able to go in and move behind the ranks if you so chose to.
I'm just gonna walk in there with a fucking sweater vest, pocket protector, some fucking glasses with tape in the middle, and ask people where the secret furry orgies are, because I'm there to fucking bone down with Sonic the Hedgehog. That's simple as, y'all.
Hi,
damn.
I'm trying to...
It's a convention. There's somebody there that's gonna be dressed as Sonic, and they're gonna be down to fuck. Simple as that. Like, it's true of every convention ever.
I mean, like, I think the person would be dressed as Knuckles, because Knuckles is red, and, that goes more in line
nice.
with
He's got the
theme.
fists,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you bet he does.
Violent K is his name.
Oh, yeah.
Knuckles,
Nice.
Violent K.
God damn
Nice.
it, that took me a second. Oh, that's beautiful, Zach.
More like the non-violent K.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
The DSA Insane Clown Posse dinner is hosted by the members of Insane Clown Posse. Non-violent J.
I mean, he's really mellowed out since getting that second mortgage.
He's changed some of his views. Yeah, switch his stance up a little bit.
Yeah, Shaggy 2 Dope is all right.
He actually, as it turns out, after a lot of research, is the president of Antifa. So, it made sense.
Are we going to talk about that too? The Antifa official mailing list that they set up?
Yeah, we got to. The National Anti-Fascist Working Group that they decided to form, because it has all of the good intentions in the world and all of the bad intentions of being a brutal CIA psyop.
Which is also what I kind of mean when I'm talking about fucking pocket protectors. Who's going to sign up for this shit? Like...
What do you mean Antifa isn't an organization? We need to help them organize. Guys, that's not the point. No, we need to make sure that they are
Everyone's on a list. Yeah.
Okay, so how about this? You know what Antifa needs? Structure and hierarchy. That's really what we think that they can do well with.
Yeah. In case you didn't notice, that's exactly what's driving those wonderful Hong Kong protests that are so bloodless so far. Is the structure and hierarchy that they have.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's the way that's happening.
I'm beyond, because I'm too. I have all my talking points are too anarchist. I don't know if Bo saw, but in the Marianne admin chat. So yeah, I say like one thing about like, hey, maybe we should limit some of this discourse, and it turns into me having to defend revolutionary action is good.
Oh boy. Oh, the Marianne gang. God bless them.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
I guess it's probably about time for us to introduce ourselves. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm Kelton, one of your co-hosts. Joining me today is my other co-host, Zach. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Plug your Twitter. Show us your dick.
I will do one of these, but it's your risky click of the day. Is it my Twitter or is it my dick? Bo is also with us today.
Howdy, folks. It's me, Bo, as always. @Schnedwab on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I'm plugging this shit at the start, babies. I'm plugging it everywhere I can.
There we go. Yeah.
Well,
Bo wants the follows. My follows have fallen off, so
I'm
the people
so
listen.
Thirsty for attention. Like, if y'all want to see bad tweets about me being terrible at level design, and that's it. That's all it is. Yep.
If you want to follow me, follow our new Instagram page.
Oh, hell yeah.
I finally did it. I made it. I linked it to the Facebook page.
Kept me completely out of it, so it's safe.
Yeah, Kelton, what websites are you still allowed on at this point?
I mean, X videos mostly. Ironically, a lot of like Russian Sadness Factory style websites.
Gab.com.
Nice.
Yeah, they love me there for some reason, Like it's
Yep.
God. Sorry about us discussing a little bit of inside baseball there at the beginning, people. Understand probably hearing three white guys complaining about a mostly white guy organization to our fan base of mostly white guys probably is a little bit of preaching to the choir, but we had to get some things off of our chest, Much like
That's
quality
podcasting, baby.
Exactly. Much like a quality one night stand, we just had to fully cleanse ourselves of the whole experience over some alcohol and some light bitching and gossip. So.
Great.
Yeah.
That was good.
Unlike,
are you the Samantha of the group, Bo? Is that what makes you? I've seen.
I'm sorry. Is that a Sex in the City reference?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Give me like half an hour to process that, and I'll be right back to you.
Hey, look. At least we're not doing this over brunch, okay?
Oh, dude, I would kill to do this over brunch. That'd be great.
That is exactly what Mr. Big would say. So thank you, Zach. I firmly agree. Good job.
Also, listen to my new podcast series, Brunch and Brews.
Nice.
Where we talk about sports.
Y'all could just be making up fucking character names, and I wouldn't know the difference.
Two people who don't know about sports talk about sports.
Hell yeah.
You watched the game? Yeah, no, I totally watched the game. What game did you watch?
One of them.
Yeah, the one with the scoring. Ah, man, the scoring was so good, right?
Killer.
Pivotal element of sports. Am I right? Can't live without that.
Yep.
Rookie
the players
year?
all abided
Rookie
by
year.
the players all abided by the rules, and then there was that one bit where one player didn't abide by the rules, and the ref called them on it. Wow.
Oh my God. And that ref was totally out of bounds, and or it was a necessary call to reel it in. Depending
all right,
on
what's the countdown until one of us says sports ball and ruins the whole fucking joke?
I'm sure people have tuned out by now. They were just like, "Oh, what's this?" An inside look at baseball, and pun. But then they realized they had 19 better podcasts to listen to at this point. So
yep.
So looks like Brunch and Brews has been canceled. So
it's been canceled for using ableist language and encouraging intoxicant style behaviors among people.
Dear DSA, every fucking podcaster is drunk as shit. Fuck off.
No, not to harp too much back on the DSA topic, but they've got to partner up with fucking what's it called? The new streaming service. Mixer, yeah, and just come up with a bunch of bullshit rules, and that can be even more resolutions for them. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, because I mean, if there's one thing I found out that people love about young upstart organizations with thousands and thousands of firebrands wanting to get involved in politics. It's going to a weekend-long convention where you painstakingly go over various rules and regulations and resolutions the entire time. That
No bare elbows either.
Yeah, that and occasionally fucking someone who's dressed as Knuckles. But that's just to release the steam.
That's a whole other story. Yeah. Yep.
That's something you don't tell the chapter president about when you get back.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, Ninja was switching over to Mixer because he has to make sure that he's streaming on the official platform of the DSA.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm waiting for my DSA skins to come out in Fortnite. And then Apex Legends responds with their Antifa series.
Nice.
Where it's just black. It's just black block.
Unfortunately, with shitty translational errors, the design company put them all in blackface instead of dressed as black block. So, really, really, really bad optics overall for Apex Legends. They said it's the second worst PR snafu that they've encountered. So,
Jesus. Well, the DSA is just a long con, right?
Yeah, I mean, comparatively though, I mean they're a group of thousands of people and they're going through necessary growing pains. Our Facebook group with Marianne Williamson. Good God, everybody. It's
yeah, we've got that figured out.
Pains.
Yeah. No growing pains. It's 100% settled. We're geniuses. We've done it.
I have absolutely no regrets about creating a Facebook group for Marianne Williamson because, everything is completely hunky-dory. No new information has come to light, angering me whatsoever. Her fan base has stayed just as happy, positive, and ironic, and hasn't descended into this toxic hell pit of screaming and circle jerking. It's great times.
All that said, let's get into the details.
Fucking Christ. 3 words. I cannot stand it, guys. What the fuck did we do?
It wasn't.
This is on
Chapo.
you. Everything was fine.
The
group was going great, and then we added Bo to it, and he was helming it. And all of a sudden now, you have people being like, well, actually, all medications are prescribed to you by doctors who were only prescribing it to you because some hot chick with a briefcase gave them a free pen, and that's why they chose to give you that medication.
I mean, that's why I give away my cocaine to hot chicks with briefcases.
Yeah. Fucking line for a pen, by all means. It's great. What they say, the pen is mightier than the snort.
The dab pen.
I brought that right back around.
The dab pen is
really struggling there for a second.
That's
no, yeah. It's really turned into this weird septic post ironic because of course there was the initial irony wave, right, where we were all enamored by this Sedona, Arizona crystals woo-woo kind of thing because it's charming in its way. And then there was the kind of initial post-ironic wave where it's oh no, this is actually kind of feel-good, hunky-dory, whatever.
Look at what she's doing. She's transforming the party.
It's something.
Sorry, I was just tacking on. My bad.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. It's just how do I put it into words?
Bad,
indeed. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the post-ironic wave hit, and there was even a little bit of pushback amongst that. About oh, well, how can you guys actually support this person? Look at all these things that she said and done in the past. And it was kind of oh, well, worship the orb mother. Everything will be cool and good. And we were all kind of having a little bit of fun overall with it.
Yeah.
And then stuff started to gear up for the second debate. And
I gotta say, her spoken word poetry in the second debate was absolutely just flowing and wonderful.
Well, of course she's gonna sound good. She's a cult leader. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the but there, is that I mean, if you look into the fucking, I've joked in the past about the MK Ultra kind of shit, but that Course in Miracles shit is essentially what that is.
definitely a psyop. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
very
yes.
spooky.
like
Yeah.
there's three things we know. Havana syndrome, it only exists because the Cubans have access to giant Soviet technology that we've forgotten about and is frying the brains of people.
Hell yeah.
Anti-malaria drugs are making our military members suffer psychosis. And Marianne Williamson is a time-traveling 11 from Stranger Things who is now running for president because MK Ultra fucking happened.
I fucking knew that was a wig. Yeah.
No, I mean,
After
did she grow hair in the
two
show?
debates,
Yeah. Fucking, I don't remember. Anyway.
yeah, she grew hair. After 2 debates, we have to kind of start engaging with the points on her website with her policy position and asking ourselves how she's going to accomplish this, what she wants to accomplish, what it is that she's trying to fight. And I think that
well, and
I
weigh
think
it against her past history. And
that too.
The past issues.
I think that's less important though. Like if we can claim that I've changed, that Bo has changed, that you have changed, and that people can change and they can improve their politics over the years, they can improve their worldview over the years. Like Marianne could be wanting to save the U.S. through love, maybe through all of her woo-woo shit. Maybe she doesn't have the language because she's not familiar enough with political movements to say the things that she needs to say to correctly communicate, how she's going to fix the issues that confront Americans in their everyday lives. But none of that's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, I appreciate
Big
the devil's
butt.
advocating here. You really would fit in as a DSA member if you chose, Zach.
I'm gonna devil's advocate myself because I'm just gonna say outright, none of that is true. She doesn't use leftist language. She's not dog whistling leftist things. She's not saying she's not saying anything that leftists advocate. She's calling for capitalism with a conscience. She's calling for reforming healthcare. She's calling for Marianne2020.com. Stand with Marianne. We're stand with Marianne. I should have had this open. I apologize.
No,
Or
it's okay.
levitate.
It's okay. By the way, if you go over to the merch section of their website, one of the people from our Facebook group, she is the model that they're using with her shirt. So our Facebook group is fairly responsible because 3 or 4 other people have been interviewed in major publications.
Hell World.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am, and I'm banned from Facebook. I can't do anything to control any of this, and I'm as the group founder, so to speak. I would have pulled the plug, but we're still T-minus a little over a week away until I'm able to do anything.
If there's a heartbeat, if there's a heartbeat, then it's life.
Oh,
Yep.
Her website talks about the issues of the criminal justice system. We're not going to get into abortion right now, Kelton. Fuck off. The issues with the criminal justice system, with guns, gun safety, healthcare, immigration, LGBT
Her fucking tweet.
rights.
Her
mass
fucking
incarceration.
tweet about guns. Did you guys see that?
Oh,
no,
God,
which
no.
Talking about that no one should have any assault weapon whatsoever, and that then we should also ban the making of those bullets.
Oh, hollow point bullets and shit.
Yeah, that we should just
Jesus.
stop that sort of a thing.
I mean, whatever.
The only people with high-powered guns should be the cops because
Exactly,
those people
yeah.
never do anything wrong.
in all of the material that she puts out, which even Elizabeth Warren has better takes on all this stuff, and all the material Marianne puts out, she doesn't say capitalism is hurting us. She doesn't say disarm the police. She doesn't say guillotine CEOs. She's not saying things that are leftist. She's saying things that are cool if you're in the DSA she says things that are cool if you're liberal and you think that, reformation is possible and you don't want paradigm change. But she doesn't want to change anything. She just wants to do it better, which places her firmly in the demagogue square. Like, Marianne and Trump are
but
two
she's
sides
not
of the
even
same
saying
coin.
how she would make it better. That's the thing that, again, to go with the Marianne and Trump parallel here. I mean, when Trump was saying "Make America Great Again," people were like, "Oh, well, how is he actually going to do it?" Then he started to build on one policy point of build that wall. And then people were like, "Oh, see, he is a man of policy." And that's what worries me about Marianne, is that if she does push out even one half-baked policy proposal, people could possibly go, look at this amazing woman. Look at what she's capable of doing now. Because all she's doing is criticizing the establishment. She's attacking the status quo. And
Everybody hates the status quo. That's not
like
revolutionary.
The lowest bar of a take.
Right-wing mass shooters and left-wing mass shooters are angry with the status quo right now. It's a matter of, well, what are we going to do to fix it? Because those are drastically different solutions. To look at a tragedy or to look at a bad situation and become Captain Hindsight and say, oh, well, this is bad and shouldn't have happened. Well, no fucking duh. Okay, great. Like, what are you going to want to do about it?
Yeah.
And so the comparison that I like to make with Marianne, I mean, with Trump in this election cycle, that seems like kind of a layup. But the one that I would want to really draw as a comparison would be with Bill de Blasio. Are you familiar with Bill de Blasio as a candidate, Bo?
Oh, yeah, he's the vanguard of the revolution. Everything he says is good and smart and cool. He has an enormous brain, and I assume just gives great hugs.
Yeah.
And not in a creepy way like Biden.
Yeah. He's also very tall, if that matters for some of you ladies. But Bill de Blasio, the actual politician, is one of the most neutered, middle-of-the-road, not useless necessarily, because he does enact some good things, but not nearly enough to make up for the fact that he still keeps murdering cops on his payroll and doesn't do anything about that. That's the thing that worries me with Marianne, is that even if we assume that she's being genuine right now, there's no guarantee that she would actually be effective. So
no.
She was a cult leader, and she was anti-science, and she was anti-vax, and she was, fat shaming, and she was a capitalist, and all of these other bad, terrible things. And maybe she did, is responsible for a dozen gay men dying because they put misplaced faith in her. But she changed her ways. So even on the plus side of us looking past all of that and looking at to what she actually believes now, there's no guarantee that she's actually going to be able to do anything. Which, if I'm being perfectly honest, I cannot wait for this hellscape of a nightmare to be over and for us to just fucking be able to go on and focus on Bernie and Warren and all this other stuff instead. Because she's not going to get the required donations, and she isn't going to be polling above 2% right now.
Bill de Blasio says working class, and it sounds like he actually means like working class. But then New York has that new law out about throwing water on cops, and that
that's the perfect encapsulation.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hearing plenty of good criticism of Marianne, but also, I mean, sounds like a lot of shit a Scorpio would say. So I'm really torn. I don't know which way to fall here. No, I mean
thanks.
we've covered plenty of good reasons that she's actually incredibly milquetoast, despite being very flowery and having quite the way with words. I mean, she's a fucking author, for Christ's sake.
She is a watercolor pastel painting come to life, basically.
Yes, like bad hotel art.
Oh my god.
But yeah, right. No, I just had the most salient take pop into my head out of nowhere. She feels like the candidate for people who are still really into Steven Universe. Like, just super all about it.
And those people who are now fans of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power on Netflix.
No. Just
season
Steven
3.
Universe.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That show might be good for all I know, so I'm not going to talk shit on it yet. But I'm saying the people who are specifically super weird about Steven Universe and continue to be weird about it.
And at the end of the day, she's the only pro-nuclear candidate, so...
Wow, we are fucked.
Yeah, that really has to hurt you of all people, Zach, just to be like...
Yeah, imagine that. What's your one voting issue? I don't know. Someone could just say, like, I'm going to build a nuclear plant, and I'd fuck them. Just fucking lay them out on the table in front of God and the whole DSA convention and just go to town.
In your Knuckles fursuit.
And then guess who that one candidate is? The Knuckles fursuit pops off, and it's Marianne underneath.
I'm just voting for whoever's wearing the Knuckles fursuit, honestly. I mean, that's my fucking candidate right there.
Okay, let's try and talk this through.
I've been into MILFs before. I will do it again.
You have been in MILFs before. I certainly agree.
Why is this the second fucking show I've been on within, like, the week where people are just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck her?
She has that raw kinetic energy that, you know, for some people it really works, you know?
Yeah. Like, I'm fairly sure I'm reusing this joke from the fucking stream I did of
Nope,
the
never mind. Moving on. Boop, they can check it out.
Gonna put the ass in Astral Project. All right, now you can cut it.
I mean, we got to think, though, about what a Marianne presidency would look like. I mean, what if she did surround herself with a whole bunch of quote-unquote progressives, and what if she did form a cabinet of sorts, you know?
Again, like I was saying, it doesn't matter. She's not going to fix anything because she doesn't understand the problems.
What's going to happen is a lot of those stores that fucking ship crystals out of Sedona, Arizona are going to make a shitload of money, and then everything else is going to stay status quo for 4 years until some fascist surge comes along.
Hey, remember
that'd be cool.
Affordable Care Act? Remember that Affordable Care Act? It would be that, but somehow worse, because she doesn't understand enough about healthcare.
ACA now covers essential oils.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, it would be more useless than the ACA was, because not only would she not understand how to work out a compromise, you know, on both sides of the aisle. She wouldn't understand the issue with healthcare is that it's run by for-profit companies.
Yeah, because I mean, as much as I think and I would hope that she would have either, you know, Bernie or Warren as a VP and have Inslee as the Department of Energy head or Secretary of the Interior, it's also just as likely that she's going to appoint Kanye as the HUD secretary. You know, like
that's the last thing we need.
You guys saw that thing that Kanye was trying to do, right?
Yes.
It's essentially, sorry, real quick tangent here. Just so people know that I'm not completely dissociating from the reality in which we all live.
At this point, you could and probably still be accurate.
Yeah. Throw just the word Kanye and then a dartboard full of nonsense words. I throw it at the wall and be like, okay, giant domes being built as housing project experiments for affordable housing because, you know, I guess that's what he wants to do now and get some nice half circle, half sphere
dome homes.
Yeegloo?
God damn
that's
it.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that.
That is beautiful, Zach.
Shit, I'm moving into one now. Yeah, just off that.
Wait.
Sign me up.
Tie me up and fuck me in my Knuckles costume.
Yeah, the whole fucking, it's 300 acres. Yeah, the whole 300 acres is fucking empty, except for me living in a fucking half-built one in my Knuckles fursuit, cooking shit on a hot plate, and just generally being like a fucking cryptid, more or less.
God.
Yeah, that's the life right there.
These are going to be worse than the housing in San Francisco that we talked about, like the the warehouses that had like
the shitty bunk
the
beds.
pod share, yeah. Because it looks like, you know, when I see these domes, what I'm reminded of is like those Amazon tribes that have the big lodges, and everybody has like their bunks in the lodge, and it's open so they can burn fires in there and stuff.
Sorry, not to be like weird. That's also the same type of setup that the Iroquois had, right? The long houses as well.
Yeah,
Like
I believe.
it's a good basic plan for nice communal housing. Basically,
sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I have the right type of image in my head here.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
yes.
it's a great like basic plan for communal housing.
It's
if
like
you're not doing it as if you're not doing it as some sort of surreal capitalist shit.
I mean, it's
idea. I'm at a loss for words.
If it's a hostel, call it a hostel.
It's not even a hostel because each person or each family would be able to have one of these, but you can't stack them, so they're not an apartment building, and they don't have much of a yard or much space. So really, he's just finding like the hype beast version of a trailer park, and is trying to just get everyone to sit together and be together on it. I mean,
yeah.
First, we got the rich to give up their mansions and live in mini houses. Next, we'll put them in actual lodges.
Yeah, all I can fucking think is that A, nobody's gonna move into this, and B, it's basically just gonna be fucking just a plot out in the middle of the fucking desert, basically. Which makes it the most beautiful crossover of Keeping Up with the Kardashians and Arrested Development that I know we've all been waiting for.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, because you're not going to put this on. This isn't going to be... This isn't dense housing. You aren't going to have vast communities of this. You're going to have like 15 acres and then one of these plopped on it. So you leave your busy New York loft and you go out to your plot of land in, where the fuck do people buy land at? I don't know. The Appalachians, somewhere in the Appalachians. You just have a plot of land and you have one of these just like driven out there on an 18-wheeler and plopped down.
That sounds fantastic until some coal mining billionaire crashes his helicopter into one of your structures.
Not so funny now, are you, Kanye? You got someone killed. Kanye is doing like this is almost good. Like it's like, yeah, okay, we'll get the rich to give up their mansions, you know, and not be so wasteful of resources. But it's not accomplishing that. It's not even making them look. It's not even like embarrassing them.
No.
Making the ruling class give up the trappings of being the ruling class. Like it's just bastardizing it. It's showing that you can bastardize anything and sell it to billionaires and they'll buy it because they're not good with money and they don't give a fuck about the rest of the citizens of the country.
Yeah, well, so that's another weird ass thing about this is that he's saying it wants to be a class multi-class kind of community, all bringing together, you know, upper middle whatever.
It's an art installment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it fucking is. It's an art installment. No fucking, you know, broke ass person who's, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, you know, who can barely like move somewhere better, period, but is not going to move out to the middle of fucking Calabasas and live in the Kanye dome, you know? Like, it doesn't fucking make sense.
That was the government affordable housing program that President Williamson has decreed that we are all going to march ourselves into.
Hey, I mean, I think that's entirely the opposite of how it's going to work once Orb Mommy is president. What's going to happen is there's no need for housing if we're all astral projecting into a higher plane of existence. I mean, you know, we just leave our physical forms behind and usher in the next state of human evolution.
Yeah, and we use those physical forms as batteries to power the machinery that keeps us sustained so we can continue the astral projection.
So I can curl up into a ball and suck my own dick. I don't know.
I mean, I was just going to hang out in an abandoned nuclear silo just because I think that's a pretty good setup. I'm going to. I hear they're pretty deep, so I'm just going to keep dragging all of the abandoned Kanye dome homes and throwing them into the pit and trying to fill up the bottom of it all the way.
That's the beauty of just making your dreams not into reality. Yep, that sentence was not a train wreck.
Just put that as a quote. Marianne Williamson, turn your dreams into not reality. There we go.
Turn your not dreams into the reality you shape it to want.
Yep.
Orbs.
Very coherent, very robust approach to politics.
Spamming the orb.
I cannot fucking take it. If one more person says that the Orb Gang, Orb Mother, Orbling, Orb fucking whatever bullshit spontaneously came up immediately after the first debate, I am going to lose my goddamn mind.
It was a very forced meme. It was a very forced meme.
Chapo came up with it. And then some people took it and ran with it. And then some people as a bit made it be like, so what should we call ourselves? And then it was like, oh, well, I like Orb Gang or Orblings or Orbcore, which sounds like a weird fashion sense,
Orbcore would have been much better with all the meme pages that are taking off now.
I mean,
specifically for Facebook, which I guess that is kind of the Marianne. That's her.
Hub.
That's her hub. Is Facebook people, not Twitter people. I mean, Twitter's really bad. Twitter
I fucking love Twitter. I don't know what y'all are talking about. And that's not just because that's the only social media platform I'm allowed on right now. Okay, guys? This is not me trying to make the best out of a bad situation.
Kelton finally banned from Twitter, making accounts on New York Times so he can comment on the article.
That's absolutely. That's the place to start.
That's literally what would happen. Is I would be like, all right, here's my Gmail if you want to get at me. Let's have an argument right now, sir.
Here's my P.O. box if you want to send me a letter telling me to go fuck myself.
Putting up flyers in your city.
One thing I've really noticed on Twitter is that the rules about what is and isn't allowed seem to constantly fluctuate because, if someone is making an active threat on a journalist's life, that's apparently fine and that's fair game. But, if I threaten to fuck the corpse of Knuckles on Twitter, that will be like, we're sorry, maybe you need to go over our bylaws and deal with a restricted account.
Reported by the DSA.
All those DSA fucks reporting me for...
He's threatening our mascot with violence? He must be a fascist.
Only a fascist would want to get Knuckle balled by Knuckle. Knuckles deep.
Only a fascist likes it. Knuckles deep.
Knuckles deep by Knuckles. I don't know. There
you go. That's something
here. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's gonna go ahead and do it as an episode. Let's see here. What do we got to plug? Zach, where can people find you?
On the Psychic Dolphin Instagram page account. Follow us there. Follow everything we do. Give us likes there. I don't care if the Facebook page dies now, because the Instagram integration is actually wonderful. But I'll still be posting the Facebook page and stuff because obviously we have plenty of reach. But I'm hoping that Instagram doesn't have such a horrific paywall. So go ahead and just delete the Facebook account. It's all liberals on Facebook. Instagram is where the real dialogue happens.
Yeah. The username for that, of course, is Dolphin Garage, same as our Twitter handle. Bo, where can people find you?
As always, I am at Schnedwob. That is SCHNEDWOB. Send me your worst takes, please. I would love to just print them out and throw them around like confetti.
Hell yeah. And I think we're going to be trying to debut something, maybe not this week, but starting next week, where we're going to be trying to get active on Twitch and fucking around a little bit on there. Probably, discuss some ridiculous kind of campy, schlocky TV show, and
Yeah.
maybe doing something similarly on a video game. I don't know video games, so
Bit of a book club, movie club, game club, clusterfuck. It's gonna be fun.
yeah, it's actually me just reading a auto parts manual for a 1998 Chevy Trailblazer while you are playing Tetris. So very niche audiences, but surprisingly a lot of coverage somehow.
Yeah. We figured that since you guys are so interested in talking to us and interacting with us, that we just can't get over the inundation of emails and direct messages.
Oh yeah,
so we decided that a Twitch stream is obviously the best next step.
Of course. So I don't know. We'll do Dexter and Diablo or some various alliteration, or you guys will try to get me to download Pummel Party and convince me it's not Knuckles fan fiction, which is exactly what it sounds like.
And what if it were? We're here for a good time, not a long time. Come on.
All right, and you guys can find me on Twitter at SexConfetti. I think that's going to go ahead and do it for an episode. Any big weekend plans?
Shit, I'm going to take a nap. Everything's depressing.
I'm going to start in on The Witcher. I'm really tilted at League right now.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck League of
The
Legends.
RNG doesn't favor me,
Trash game.
so I'm
Trash people.
I'm playing through The Witcher,
Which is
so
why
I can finally finish Witcher 3 and then finish it up. Hopefully, by the time I finish Witcher 3, the movie will be out. And
The
That's the
movie,
spirit.
the TV series.
You can just watch Henry Cavill be good at the game, yeah.
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 This is actually a frame-by-frame remake of Henry Cavill playing the game.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what we could do as the live stream when it comes out. I'm going to watch The Witcher and then critique you anytime that you stray from the frame by frame of the episode.
You ever do like a picture-in-picture thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Try to make it match up.
This intro scene is totally wrong.
The hair looks way too real. Fuck that noise. All right, guys.
Yep.
Well, deuces.